What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? You said you're trying to level up? Me too, Chadford Morris. Me too. I'm always trying to figure out how to level up. Always trying to figure out how to get to the next space in my life. Always trying to figure out where the next happiness level is. That's life. That's life. Goddess, goddess, goddess. Hey, they say that if you're not trying to find it, if you're not trying to get it, if you're not trying to figure out where it's at, then you're not living. It's a lot of people dying out here. And when I say dying, I'm not even talking about physically. It's a lot of people that was dead way before they date because they gave up on life. Because they gave up on life. But we here. What up? What up? What up? How y'all feeling today? What's up, Jess Brown, girl in America, the Steel City Storm? Shout out to you. Call me Mr. Bibbs. What up? Jason 18, K Cooper, Tree, Sabrina, Got Flavor, Jennifer. What's happening? Ari, what's up, Ari? I see you, baby girl. What's happening? Mr. 43TX, I see you. Tabby, I see you. Trees, Joe Gun, Mrs. Williams, Mrs. Williams. Please, Mrs. Williams. Platinum, what up, Platinum? Stormex Prophetess, Major Gains, A Dunn, A Wyatt, Purple Haze, Brothers Keeper, Slan Sells Cars, Keisha. Yeah, you see it in the hood all the time. People be giving up on themselves. People be giving up on themselves in life. I don't see that. I feel like my life is just now getting started. You know, life is good, new opportunities, new employees, onboarded some people this morning and over the weekend. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm feeling incredible, man. I am feeling incredible. Unfortunately, there was a lot that happened this weekend that was a little bit less than ideal, and I'm not really happy about that. And so we're going to have to talk about it. We got several different subjects that we want to cover, including Eric Adams dropping out of the race over in New York. New York, what is going on? Man, we're going to get into that. If you from New York, if you live in New York, my suggestion to you before it gets too bad is to find something else that you're passionate about somewhere else inside of America. We gonna get there. Multiple different shootings, one over in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Another one was in North Carolina. It's another one over in Texas. I haven't even covered that on the Anton Daniels channel. We got to talk about the money, so we're going to get into the Starbucks layoffs. Public schools superintendent detained by ICE. Black man. I know y'all ain't going to like that one, but we going to get there. 3 people were sentenced to life in prison plus additional years for a deadly home invasion, and the mother whose son was killed actually forgave him. We got to get into Portland, so the troops is showing out in Portland, and of course, ICE is tearing up things over there in Chicago. So we got a lot to cover today. I hope y'all are ready for this phenomenal week. It is Monday, September 29th, 2025, year of our Lord. It is the greatest day of your life. Every day will be better than the day before because this is the greatest day of our lives. All right. All right, y'all ready to get started with the show? You know what we do. I got to make sure that I acknowledge the people that support me the most, because everybody's support is warranted, right? And so I'm going to get into the housekeeping, but first I got to give some acknowledgement to the people that support the platform early. I want to give a shout out to Bryant Smith. Shout out to Bryant Smith, Chris Mayberry, also Courtney Egger Show. Shout out to you. Mike that dude. I appreciate you, Mike that dude. Spencer Campbell is in the building. Shout out to Spencer Campbell. Thank you, my friend, for continuing to hold me down. And also, my first super chat of the week. What up, Mr. Lot? Mr. Lot in the building. What up with them Lions, though? How about them Lions? Well, we already knew that we was going to beat up on y'all, so that don't have nothing to do with it. But how about them Lions? Yeah. I got a new rental property that's coming online this upcoming month. Man, I'm excited. I got so much happening. So much happening. October is going to be incredible. September ain't even over. I got my girl Lex. I told Lex I'm about to give her that exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Got to give her that exclusive contract. Nobody can talk to Lex unless you go through Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I think I'm going to add Lex over the after hours to the crew. I think she fits in beautifully. She fits in perfectly. She got the aesthetics. She got the conversation. I like Lex. Y'all gonna have to learn how to network yourselves into some money, into an opportunity, into a marriage, into a relationship, into hanging out with the right people. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I was thinking about it this morning before we get into the show. I was thinking about it this morning. Think about this, right? Think about the people that I surround myself with. And pretty boy, I'm going to read that super chat shortly. Think about this for a second. And this will tell you the power of networking. Every person that I have, every last one of them, every single person that works for me, on camera and off camera, they came from my direct network. Let me say that again. I'm not even going to say works for me, works with me, because you know me, I ain't on that type of time. Let's all get this money together. Let's figure it out. Every single person that works with me on camera or off camera, including all of my contractors, to some extent, I know them. Ain't that crazy? Like, it never came like, hey, just send in an application. Like, that may have been a formal, a formal part of the process, but that's not the thing that got them there. It's not. Even your car, right? Your car, we was talking this morning and stuff like that, and I will tell you that your car has been holding me down and stuff like that, but it's the connections, right? We link up, we met at the meetups or whatever and all of this stuff. I'm like, yeah, you the best person for me because you the person that's been the most consistent around me. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to all of the people that's on the panel, they just rocked out with me. And then it's like, hey, listen, hold on. Why don't you stand over here for a second and let's figure it out? Ain't that tripped out? Which means, shout out to Tanisha. I'm going to read that shortly. Which means that y'all need to be more intentional about A, getting outside, and B, building your network. A, being out. How do you build your network? It's the people that you add value to. It's not about being there and asking for an opportunity. It's being there and adding value to the group. But I'm not going to dig into that because I got a couple of upcoming Patreon live streams that I plan on doing. Also, housekeeping before I read the rest of the super chats and get started with the show, because I see that shout out to Lex. Look at that. I see that we already over 1,000 people, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with the show. Housekeeping. I don't censor people, so you guys are more than welcome to say whatever it is that you want to say in the chat as long as it's respectful. Don't get overly disrespectful. Don't talk about nobody's mother, husband, kids, wife, all of that. Leave that out of it, all right? You're more than welcome to have a difference of opinion. We don't censor people over here, so be an adult. What other housekeeping? Oh, Q show. So we got the Q show tonight. Make sure y'all tap into the Q show. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. What other housekeeping do we have? What other housekeeping do we have, y'all? Is there any more housekeeping that we need to address? Oh, giveaway. So, beginning in the month of October, I already have everything starting to get set up. We just want to make sure that everything is cool. So starting next Monday, I am going to give you guys more insight because we are going to give away a car. All right. We're going to give away a Tesla Model 3. Brand new, off the lot, straight to somebody. And I'm going to let y'all know the details. I already kind of ironed that out with y'all last week. So if you haven't been watching every day, then you probably don't know what's happening. Info says, did you end up finding an editor? Yeah, your car is rocking with me. Your car is my guy. All right. Your car is getting a 6-figure. I don't even know no editors that make 6 figures. Your car already got whatever it is that he got going on outside of me. And then he getting an extra 6 figures. Just managing and editing my content. I don't know nobody that pay what we pay. Ain't no panelists making what my panelists making. Ain't no editors making what my editors making. And everything is here. Everybody kept telling me, I got so many different friends. Man, you need to outsource it. Man, get these people in India. Man, get these people in Africa. Man, there's some people over here in Japan and China. They'll do it for a fraction. They'll do it for, a tenth of the cost. No, we going to go ahead and hire right on here in the good old United States of the Americas. We're going to put money in the bag chasers' pockets right here in the Americas. Right here in the Americas. You know what I'm saying? We put money right in the pockets, and this is not the end of it. I'll be announcing some more positions that I will be hiring for because we growing. All right, we growing. We're growing. All right. Y'all ready to continue on with the show? Yeah. I hear you, Q City. Shout out to you. Shout out to all of the Dusties. I'm in such a good mood. I'm not even in the mood to argue with y'all today. Shout out to Tanisha. Shout out to Tanisha on Cash App. I appreciate you, Tanisha. Let me read a few more super chats and then we'll get started with the show. Pretty Boy 79 says, man, I think you saved a life in that TikTok debate. He'll watch that again and hopefully reflect. Did anybody screen record that? I don't think nobody screen recorded that. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. It was a come to Jesus moment. The people over there on TikTok, they don't really know what I am. They don't know what I do. Samuel Hartfeld says, good morning, my Detroit brother. What are your thoughts on Nick Fuentes' comments on Erica Kirk recently? I have not seen it. I haven't seen it. Let me tell you this, bro. Let me tell you this, Samuel Hartfield. And I'm going to be very clear about this. I think I've been clear about this before, but I'm going to be very clear about this now. I don't watch people that I don't care for. Now, it's one thing if I disagree with you or I don't care for you to the extent on some content creation type of person, right? If I don't think that you're a good person at all, like if I just completely think that you've offed yourself on a reservation, I don't observe your comments. I don't want to hear what you got to say. I don't care how viral it is. I don't care about that. Nick Fuentes, in my opinion, because remember, people can say stuff that you agree with, but it doesn't mean that you necessarily rock with them. He'll hit here and there, and then he'll be wrong on this. I think he's a demonic person. I think he's a bad person in general. And so I don't care for him. And so I don't watch his content. None of his stuff is going to pull up on my algorithm. I'm not interested in ever reviewing anything that he has to say. I'm just completely removed. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about anything that he says at all. You know what I'm saying? So as far as you'll never ever, I don't care how popular it is, I don't care how viral he goes, I don't care about any of that. You'll never ever get me to review a Nick Fuentes video. Ever. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing for me to disagree with you or be on a different, perspective. But when I think you're just purely hateful, I think there's other people that are teetering on that on the black side. DL Hughley is definitely one of them. But Nick Fuentes, I think that Nick Fuentes is a demon, and I'm not interested in reviewing anything that he says. All right. So that's how I feel about that. Shout out to you, Christopher Evans. Christopher Evans says, "Good morning, Anton. On my way to a job interview for a second job. Hopefully I get it. Pray for me." And the Bears 2-2, by the way, bear down. Hey, Christopher Evans, you need to be listening to the Interview Like a King video inside of the Patreon. If you're not listening to that, then you're really doing yourself a disservice. What up, Lex? Lex, please. Simply because you're you, that man, God bless the bag chasers and bear down. What up, Lex? Lex, please. Lex, please. Turn off the lights. What up, Lex? Lex is such a naturally pretty person, inside and out. Oop Milk says, "For my motivational Monday, can I see that Land Dweller watch?" No, I don't have it yet. I actually flew down to Miami to pick up a watch. I didn't pick that one up, but I put it on the list. I need to call her. I don't know what that was. I forgot to tell her that I needed that. I forgot to tell her that I needed that Land Dweller. Shout out to her. But I'll hopefully she'll give me a call back. But I'm on it, Oop. I'm on it, Oop. Equal Opportunity Smoke says, "You can go to enemy ground, show nothing but love and respect, and they'll still disrespect you when you leave. When you leave, and they know they got cooked." Oh, you already know. I know exactly what you're referring to, Equal Opportunity Smoke. That's why I don't do business with people in my city. As crazy as that sounds. It's so hard. I was thinking about this weekend. I can't I gave people an opportunity to be able to come up. Hey, Gabriella.
Hey, sorry, I was just finishing with the client. What's going on?
Hey, I meant to ask you, and I don't know why forgot. Will you ever be able to get a Land Dweller?
In rose gold or which one?
Any of them.
Any of them?
Preferred the white gold, but
Yes, the white gold, they already told us, like, no, you know?
yeah.
Told us it's like the new sky dweller blue, basically.
Okay.
But
Well, if you get anything in, just let me know.
I'll send you some options once we get them in. It won't be this year, but most likely by next year we'll have some options to offer you.
All right, I appreciate you.
Keep in mind that it's a new model. So
Yep.
as new model comes out, maybe by April there'll be like different dials, different colors. I'm sure Release is going to expand on it. Okay.
I appreciate you.
I'll add it to your interest.
Okay, and thank you this weekend for looking out for me.
Oh my gosh, always, man. No worries. All right, you're always.
Thank you, love. Okay, baby.
You got it.
Bye. All right, so Land Dweller next year. I guess we'll pick it up. Chris, your addiction love says AD love love, AD, you should co-consider adding my girl too. What's up with you and her? Why are you so addicted to her? Why are you so addicted to her, your addiction? I like her. I like her. I really do. That's my girl. So we going to figure it out. We going to get our lineup together going into 2026. And it's going to be dope. What up, Sky Jones? I'll be reading super chats throughout the show. Anyways, I think I'm long way ENT. I'm going to ban that name. I'm going to ban that name from being mentioned inside of my chat simply because it's so hard to be able to rock out with people in your city. I'm going to tell y'all this. The people that are in your city, wherever y'all at, all right, I'm very careful. And I said this on a previous live stream right here on the Millionaire Morning Show. I said this before. I'm very, very, very careful about giving credit, saluting, and bigging up people from my city. I never, ever have no smoke from anybody from my city. Regardless of whether I like them or not, I always give credit and big up. And the 1 minute I think to myself, you know what? Let me start expanding my reach. Let me start making sure that I give people a little bit of visibility. Let me help people get their platforms together. I can't do it. So I wash my hands of it. I don't have nothing to say. I'm staying in my lane. I'm staying out the way, bro. I ain't got time for that. Anyways, yeah, let's get into it, y'all. So make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. If you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you tap into the Patreon. I don't know if the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Somebody tell me if the link is pinned to the top of the chat. I'll check that in a minute. And let's get into the show. All right. So first things first, because we got a lot to cover. I want to head over to right here in Michigan. Grand Blanc Township is actually pretty far from where we are, but I want to go to Grand Blanc and I want to go to North Carolina to give y'all an update on what is happening with all of these shootings. All right. So over the weekend, a shooter actually did the unthinkable, and I just couldn't imagine this happening, but a shooter did the unthinkable in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Let's get into it.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Hi, everybody. That breaking news continues from the Grand Blanc Township and now Burton areas just north of the Metro Detroit area. I'm going to step out of the way. I'm sure you've heard by now there was a mass shooting at the Church of the Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township. 10 people were shot. 1 is dead. The shooter also shot and killed by police. What you're looking at right now is a map of where that church is, again, in the Grand Blanc Township area. There were people inside of the church when all of this happened. The suspect rammed his vehicle through the front doors of the church, got out, and then started shooting. You're now looking at video from the scene here. Again, 10 people were shot. 1 was shot and killed. 2 or 3 others are in critical condition. On top of the shooting, though, this suspect, a 40-year-old from Burton, also started a fire inside of the church. And unfortunately, we got an update from the Grand Blanc Township Police Chief. He said they are expecting to find
the entire church was engulfed in fire.
More victims of the shooting.
See that? It wasn't just okay, so let me tell y'all how this basically played out. Let me show you how demonic people are, okay? I seen Don Lemon, and Don Lemon is over there making jokes about it. Dear white people, what is wrong with you guys right now? They want to make this a racial thing. When tragedies strike and when things happen like this, right? Whether you're talking about the trans shooter that was over in Minneapolis, the guy that killed people in North Carolina, which we'll cover shortly, or this situation that happened in Grand Blanc, we have to remove the race part of it out of it temporarily when it first happens. We can go through and we can mine it out and try to figure out exactly what happened and how these things are playing out later, right? We can start doing all of that stuff later. But in the meantime, the first thing that you want to do is you want to pray for the families. You want to pray for the families, because what usually happens in these situations is that they target the most vulnerable amongst us. So that's why you see it happens at schools. That's why you see it happens at churches. And this is probably one of the worst stories that I've ever heard. rammed his car, his vehicle, his truck, into the church, started a fire to where it basically burned up the whole church. Apparently, there were people that did not make it out and that burned up inside of the church. As people ran out into the parking lot to their cars, he just indiscriminately started shooting and firing off on people to where he basically hit 10 people. This is an assault on spirituality, Christianity, and righteousness. This is demonic. Trump himself actually acknowledged that there was a persecution and an assault on Christians inside of the United States of America, and this is why they would target churches. They don't target police stations. They don't go over and start targeting military bunkers and stuff like that. They target churches, schools, and the most vulnerable amongst us. And this is why it's sad. It is. And we need to call it exactly what it is. Now, because there used to be places that were sacred. There used to be places that you just never mess with. People are brazen enough and they are disrespectful enough. And I believe that it truly is a spiritual war that's happening out here. We battle against principalities. Obviously, we're familiar with what happened with Charlie Kirk. This is horrible. This is absolutely horrible.
And or of the fire once the investigators can get into areas of the church that they originally couldn't get into because that fire was ongoing. We did talk to the chief about what the next steps are, and that is getting a search warrant and getting into the victim's home. The suspect's home.
We have investigators. We're going to do search warrants on the suspect's residence. We're going to find out if there was a motive. We're going to go through cell phone records, things like that. We had FBI, they're devoting 100 agents to this area because, as you can imagine, there's a lot of witnesses that were within the church, and that is a lot of witness information, statements that we have to obtain.
All right, now back out here
Agree.
live.
Somebody said, Black Rambo says, even with schools attacked, they are attacking Christian schools. Yeah, they're not just attacking random schools. They target Catholic schools, Christian schools. They target schools that are based in spirituality. It's not random. They're very intentional. Very, very intentional. And the most disrespectful part of this is that they try to make it seem like, well, he had mental health, PTSD, former vet, all of this stuff. They like to try to make it seem like it's that, but it's something else. It's something else.
Actually, at the church, we are near the suspect's home. Now, we have confirmed through sources that there were IEDs found inside of the suspect's vehicle. And now here outside of the home, as they get that search warrant and a way to go inside, the Michigan State Police bomb squad has shown up. In fact, photographer Marty is behind the lens here. If we can zoom into the back of that truck, you can see a robot is now being offloaded. That'll be one of the tools that they will use to go inside of the suspect's home to see what's happening there. It is a very safe assumption that if explosives were found inside of the suspect's vehicle, then they could likely find the similar situation inside of the suspect's home. That's why you see the bomb squad out here. That's why you see that robot getting ready to go inside of the home. And as we pan our camera a little bit towards the right, you also see a SWAT vehicle, and they've attached a battering ram on the front of that vehicle. They'll likely use that to push open the door or a window or some other front entry point so they can gain access to the home and then send that robot inside. There is a lot happening, not only in the Grand Lake Township area, Burton, but all throughout this area as well. This is on Atherton Street, which is in Burton. You can see that the Michigan State Police have shut this road down completely. It will be shut down like this for hours yet to come as they kind of meticulously and very, very slowly start to go through that suspect's home. But again, he is a 40-year-old that lives here in the city of Burton who used his vehicle to crash and drive through the front doors of the Church of the Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township, which is right next door. It is a community right next here to Burton. Inside that church, during the shooting, 10 people were shot. One is dead, 2 are critically injured. The others, the police chief here said that they are in stable condition. Of note, when the 911 calls started coming in, we were told that 2 officers got there very quickly. One of them was a Grand Blanc Township deputy. The other one was a Michigan DNR officer. Both were armed and both what they call engaged the suspect, shooting and killing that suspect. So you've got a lot happening here. And again, the Michigan State Police getting ready to make entry into that suspect's home.
We need to start, at this point, it's going to start being a situation where people are arming themselves when they get to church. You're going to have to arm yourself in the sanctuary just to be able to go and worship God. Over in North Carolina, a gunman shot from a boat, killing, hitting, wounding people, shot from a boat, and then he lived to get arrested for it.
Let's jump over now to get more information on the mass shooting in North Carolina. You see CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry, who's been spending time there. Good morning, Skylar. Help us understand what happened in this shooting and why officials there are seemingly certain that it also was targeted and purposeful.
Yeah, that's what law enforcement said yesterday during a press conference, Errol. Breaking down a timeline as to what happened, police say that they first got 911 calls shortly after 9 o'clock on Saturday night. It was then that folks who were here at American Fish Company say that shots started to ring out here, so much so that people started to hit the deck. They say that several people were hit, both outside and inside of this popular pub and concert venue where usually people would come out, enjoy some music, enjoy food and drinks as well. Then they say that everything happened so quickly, but they were able to get their eyes on a boat that actually left right across the way here from the dock here. And they say that it was the suspect, Nigel Edge, who was able to get away a little after 10 p.m. on Saturday night. Of note, police say that they were able to arrest Edge, the suspected shooter, in less than an hour as he tried to make his way back to where his residence is, a little bit further down in Oak Island. They say that this was a premeditated and targeted attack. He is due in front of a judge today. He's facing several charges, including 3 counts of first-degree murder, 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and 5 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. Something else to note here, Errol, is that the death penalty is something that is possible here in North Carolina. Prosecutors say that that is not off the table. We will see where that goes as they move forward. We spoke with a business owner, Todd Weaver, yesterday, who was here among the crowd. He says that he saw friends and also folks that he regularly sees when he comes to this venue go down with wounds, trying to help and trying to deal with what ultimately could be described as a chaotic situation. And he said that, you know, he was heartbroken to see what happens to this regular spot that he comes to on a weekly, if not bi-weekly basis. But he says that he will continue to come back. Yesterday, we were out here, a growing memorial, if you can see it right beside me. Teary-eyed members of this community were here to pay their respects, but they simply say that something like this has never happened here, and they hope that it never happens again.
I will tell you that I am, first of all, prayers up for the families of the people that was killed over in North Carolina, but these crazy people. But I will tell you this, that I am vigilant, very vigilant. Even when I went to the airport, right? And so I go into the lounge or whatever, and, I'm waiting for my flight, my plane. And so as a result, I'm sitting there and I'm making sure that, I'm getting my work done and I'm uploading things and everything like that. I'll pin the link to the Patreon right now. It's in the description of the video. But I'm sitting there and I'm working. And when I first got into the lounge, I made sure that, I sit with my back towards the door. And I scan the entire room. And I'm looking and I'm paying attention to the different things that's happening all around me. And it's not even that I'm fearful. It's just that I'm mindful because I have just always been conditioned. And again, I'm not sure if it's because of being in the hood or being from the hood or all of that stuff. But for my entire life, when I go in for whatever reason, I just can't sit with my back to the door. I just can't sit with my back to anything, right? And think about this for a second. Maybe this is a form of PTSD, right? Because when you go into the airport, you already went through TSA, you done already did all of that, you went through all of that, TSA pre-check and all of that stuff, right? It's no way for somebody to bring a gun into it, but I don't trust anybody. Not today. Not today. I am vigilant. I am on it. I don't sleep on that type of stuff at all. I am vigilant when it comes to making sure that I stay on top of that type of stuff. I'm not sleeping on it. I got to keep, and women, they are like they always, especially women that are with a man, right? If you with a man and you could just rest and you chilling and all of this stuff, it's so much sweeter. I'm imagining that y'all live a incredible lifestyle or live an incredible life because y'all don't have to worry in the same way that we worry. But a lot of these independent women, a lot of women that like to travel by themselves, women that move a certain type of way and all of that stuff, you're going to have to be vigilant. You got to be aware. You got to be vigilant. All of that stuff. Even when you go to church, you got to start paying attention, looking around at people. You just don't know because people have lost their mind and they've lost complete respect for human life and human decency. Crazy. We live in crazy times, man. Crazy times. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. The real show. That was just a little quick hit. Chris says she's been around forever, and she's so sweet, not like the rest of these YouTube people. Only reason I know how to send these super chats is her. All right. I like that. Armand says, good afternoon. AD, I joined the Bag Chasers. Let's get it. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. I can't wait to live stream with y'all. I got a couple live streams that I got planned with y'all. Brothers Keeper says, this reminds me of the Black Church fires in the mid-90s. New York Undercover did a show on it back in the day. Without Question says, I emailed you the best update. Yeah, I seen that. Over in Texas. I emailed you the best update on Eagle Pass, Texas Casino. It's a very detailed and explains how they caught him. Yep, it was a black man that shot up that over there. Don't know what his affiliation is, what his reason is. Person shooting up some people inside of the casino, he could have just had a bad day and lost a lot of money. Your content is on point and time with the truth, and folks at my mental health job and support be at odds with relationships and black fatigue at work now. Well, that's what we do. We have conversations. Make sure you tell them to tap in and subscribe to the channel. Onaka says, please help me keep the Grand Blanc community in prayer. I know of several people affected, and it's heartbreaking. Sick times that we live in. I sent up a prayer for him yesterday when I first found out. Blair, what up? Blair says, as a disabled vet, the PTSD card is always the go-to for these guys. Yeah, I think that's just an excuse. It's very much an excuse. They playing that nonsense out. But let's continue on with the show. So in addition to that, one of the other things that happened was these three gentlemen, which you only see two right here, but the other one is the mastermind. We're going to get into it shortly. These gentlemen were all sentenced to life in prison. I believe they were in the Philadelphia area, Pennsylvania area, and you won't believe why. Check it out.
Happening now in Montgomery County, the two men accused of shooting and killing 25-year-old Andrew Gaudio and paralyzing his mother during a home invasion in Lower Merion Township in December of last year. And the third man of orchestrating the crime will spend life behind bars. Kelvin Roberts and Charles Fulforth, co-workers at a junk removal company, went to the wrong address to execute their plan to steal guns from an elderly couple. After Jeremy Fuentes told them about the guns, this is according to the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office.
I have a hard time trusting anybody at this point with the last name Fuentes. They always look like this. They always some scrawny, skinny, weakling, with bifocals on, and a bad haircut. They always giving out bad information. These Fuentes, boy, they got to be stopped. They got to be stopped. These Fuentes got to be stopped. So this guy, working at something related to a disposal company, decided to get these two Neanderthals. So he's a smart one, and these two are the Neanderthals, right? And so this one says, you know what, guys? I know a play. I know where an old, super old couple lives at. And maybe they preppers. I don't know who they are, but they are definitely some people that we should take advantage of. The most feeble and frail and the biggest prey amongst you, we need to take advantage of them. He said, listen, I know where they at. I know where the guns is at. They're going to have all kind of guns. They're going to have all kind of stuff for you. Nice goodies. Just give me my cut once you go in there, hit them with the ooh-wop shebang, rob them, take all of their guns in the daytime, and then get up out of there and come and kick in. We going to split it 3 ways. So he tells the Neanderthals, and it ain't nothing like making sure that we have diversity, equity, and inclusion on the most criminally insane people. But, you know, black and white, they work together when it's an opportunity for them to knock some heads off, especially if you're a criminal. And so Neanderthal 1 and Neanderthal 2, which they both have gray in their beards, right? Now, the one on the right, the white guy, his gray has been dyed out a little bit more, but, you know, it's coming through. Black guy, his gray is coming in a little bit more. Why is Anton mentioning gray in the beards in this particular segment? Well, I'll tell you why. Because when you get to the point to where you have gray in your beard, that means that you made it in life. You've made it to an age that most people that are in the criminal underworld don't make it to. And so if you get to the point in your life as a man to where you start having gray in your beard, that's a sign for you to give up your criminal activity. You made it. That is a sign for you to give up the criminal life. You've aged out. You're no longer a YN. You're no longer a YN. It's time to go ahead and wrap it up, big dog. Get your life together. Go get you a job, 401k, good health care coverage. You know, you don't have to have a kid, but if you get yourself together and you move out of your mother's basement, you can then go ahead and maybe get married, find you a woman that used to be for the streets, but now she decided that she want to change her life. Y'all get together and y'all make sure that y'all make a good couple. Don't put your hands on her. Don't have flashbacks. Chill. Go to work every day. If you want to make some extra money, go get you that security job. And enjoy life. You an OG, you unk now. You know what I'm saying? So just chill out. But nope, these two Neanderthals said, you know what? That's a play. We're gonna be demons. We're gonna let the devil use us. We're gonna go over into these older people's homes, and we're going to invade their homes, and we're going to probably kill them, and then steal everything that they got, including all of the guns. All right. So the mastermind sends them over to do the worst, and they went ahead and executed. But there was only one problem in this situation. These two Neanderthals, which I'm pretty sure that Poindexter here was pissed. I told you 38192. Oh, I thought you told us to go to 381942. Duh, I just tried to figure it out. So these two home invasion bandits decide that they want to break into somebody else's home, and this is what happened next.
Fuentes told them about the guns. This is according to the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. Fulforth and Roberts were convicted of first-degree murder and Fuentes of second-degree murder, among other charges. Our Kelly Rule has more from court today.
Robert Gaudio, who lost his brother in this horrific crime, and their mother, Bernadette, who was paralyzed in the shooting, had to read emotional statements 3 different times in court for each defendant. Judge Furman saying this is one of the most cold-blooded acts this court has ever seen.
It'll be nice to close the chapter in this book and continue on with our recovery.
After an emotional day in court, the Gaudio family says they can officially move forward after a judge sentenced all 3 defendants connected to a home invasion at their family home on Meredith Road in Lower Merion Township in December of last year. Andrew Gaudio, the youngest son, was shot and killed, and Bernadette was paralyzed in the shooting, enduring debilitating physical pain and no ability to live the active life she once did.
So, this older woman, which they probably mistook for the older couple that had all of the guns, see 2 Neanderthals run into the house. Hey, get your hands up. Whatever. Where the guns at? Where the jewels at? Where the money at? Where the guns at? And she's like, oh my God, I don't know. I don't know anything. Oh my God. They say, oh, don't play with me. Don't you play with me. Listen, I shoot everything up in here. Go get the son. So the youngest son, they make an example out of him. They kill him, take his life right there in front of the mother. The mother, she gets shot, and they still don't get anything. Why? Because they're at the wrong address looking for guns. They had a home invasion at the wrong address looking for guns. She survives, and she's paralyzed, and so now she got to live the rest of her life inside of a wheelchair. She's living the rest of her life inside of a wheelchair, okay? And then she has to bury her son, who was killed because they went to the wrong house trying to have a home invasion looking for guns. They didn't do anything. They didn't say nothing to nobody. They minding their business. I think the little boys, it happened. And here's the other part about it. It happened right after his birthday. I believe that the boy had a birthday. This was the day after his birthday. They get up. Hey, what's happening? 2 Neanderthals is in there shooting people, looking for guns, and you just woke up in the morning. You just woke up. That's your only sin, is waking up, and 2 Neanderthals is in there killing people, looking for guns at a house that ain't got nothing.
We do feel that justice was served today, just as it had been over the course of the past 2 trials.
This has been a really difficult journey for me, and
She
now
paralyzed
that
for the rest of her
trial
life.
and the sentencing is over, we can focus on my health and my recovery.
Back in July, Charles Fulforth, who was the first to be
Neanderthal 1.
sentenced today, and Kelvin Roberts were convicted of first-degree
Neanderthal 2.
murder, among other charges.
And they not even remorseful. They ain't tripping. And they get to live. They get to live. They get to live out the rest of their days. They can go into the prison system. They're going to probably get them a boyfriend, get them a bunkie, get them an iPad, right? Work, get some commissary, some good time, some good behavior, be able to make friends, maybe join a gang, get them a boyfriend, both of them, or maybe become a boyfriend, you know, get some sex from their boyfriend inside of prison. They get to live a whole full life right after the crime. Her son is gone. She paralyzed, can't twist her head left or right. No opportunity to be able to travel, visit places. No opportunity to get a man, nothing. Your whole life, your whole family lineage is robbed from you because these monsters decided that they wanted to break into the wrong home and kill 2 people, in which one of them is paralyzed and she got to live the rest of her days out in pain. And they get to go home, go to prison and get some boyfriends.
And sentenced today to life behind bars for shooting Bernadette Gaudio in her bed, paralyzing her, and murdering Andrew, shooting him execution style at their home on December 8th. Hours
Deion Sardines, that's what they do. They get sex. I'm sorry.
After celebrating Robert's birthday. Prosecutors say the pair worked together at junk luggers in Willow Grove and went to the wrong address as part of a plan to steal guns from an elderly couple in Bucks County. Fulforth received a consecutive sentence of 60 to 120 years. Judge Furman said to him, quote, "You are one of the worst offenders this court has ever seen." Roberts received a consecutive sentence of 55.5 to 120 years. He did have some family members that apologized and spoke about mental health struggles he had leading up to the crime. A third junk lugger's coworker, Jeremy Fuentes, was convicted.
Look at this. Look at him. Look at the mastermind. Look at the mastermind.
Second-degree murder in a separate trial and also sentenced to life behind bars with a consecutive sentence of 4 to 20 years, accused of telling Fulforth and Roberts about the guns in the home and setting up the home invasion. When given a chance to speak, he apologized to the Gaudio family.
To shoot a woman and paralyze her as she laid in bed, to execute her son in front of her, it doesn't get any worse than that.
Robert Gaudio said in court, when offered to pursue the death penalty in this case, he says his family decided a fate worse than death was to, quote, be forgotten.
I'm going to play that last part for y'all really quickly.
In this case, he says Robert Gaudio said in court, when offered to pursue the death penalty in this case, he says his family decided a fate worse than death was to, quote, be forgotten.
They prey on y'all weaknesses. They prey on your forgiveness. And then they will hold you accountable for your unchristian-like ways and behavior. If you say, hey, no, man, they need to be up out of here. Get them on up out of here. They will prey on your weaknesses, knowing that they ain't even going to get to pursue the death penalty. Oh, man, your biggest problem and the things that you need to, you know what, I'm going to make you suffer living with this consequence. Man, they don't feel nothing for you. Why y'all delaying them hell? Why are y'all delaying them their meeting with the devil? Why delay it? Hey, man, go ahead and get to it. Why are y'all delaying them their meeting with the devil? Demons need to go where they need to be going. Why y'all delaying them? No, they need to live on this earth and let taxpayers continue to fund their demonic lifestyle. I feel sad. Feel very, very sad for the family. But again, I told y'all, we living in times where we need to be fighting and staying prayed up and living in, fighting these principalities. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me go ahead and continue on with the show. I'm going to read a couple of super chats. Remember the Q show tonight on the After Hours channel, so make sure y'all tune into that. So forgiving. Aaliyah says, my daddy taught me to remain vigilant, always love being raised with a father. You was raised with a good father. Shout out to you, Aaliyah. I appreciate you. Country Boy Finesse says, these people forgot about Lyndon B. Johnson sending federal troops to Detroit. Shout out to Country Boy Finesse. Jamal Bradley in the building says, you would do well making many clips on YouTube just clowning criminal mugshots from recent crimes the way you do. I just can't stand these people, man. I just can't believe that this type of thing happens to good, innocent people that just woke up one day. All right, let's continue on with the show. Let's go over to Chi-Town. We got to deal with immigration. All right, so Trump has been warning Chicago. He said, listen, guys, I know that y'all think that y'all doing what y'all supposed to do by talking nonsense. Brandon Johnson has been talking big trash against the Trump administration lately. Brandon Johnson has had so much to say. I said, ooh, okay. Okay, B. Johnson is out here talking greasy about Trump. Why would he do that? Why would he do that? Why would Brandon Johnson talk greasy about the person that you're literally begging money from? Is that wise? Is that smart? What's up, Cheshire? What's up, baby girl? Is that wise? Is that smart? And now you're going to have the federal troops in there anyway. Tom Homan and Trump said, hey, work with us on making sure that We get these illegal migrants out of Chicago. When they get arrested or when you find them, just let us know. We'll come and pick them up. We'll deport them. And Brandon Johnson said, nope. J.B. Pritzker said, nope. Now you got ICE agents showing force over in Chicago.
A number of armed Border Patrol agents have been marching through downtown Chicago, largely in the Loop area.
WGN's Brona Tumblety joins us now from Clark and Wacker. Brona.
Good evening, guys. Yeah, really bizarre scene in the downtown area. Dozens of Border Patrol agents making their way through the Loop here, very much wanting to be seen. We even witnessed some of them taking selfies. Lots of other people had their phones out as well, though, telling us they were shocked at what they're witnessing.
There's nothing happening here to protect. There's no crime, there's no riot. People are just enjoying a wonderful day.
As Chicagoans and visitors to the city enjoyed a sunny Sunday, sipping wine and eating outside, a blatant show of force stepped through the downtown area.
That was pretty alarming, just to see a group of masked guys walking around with ARs, silenced ARs. It's pretty intimidating.
Though our closest national border is over 500 miles away, dozens of armed Border Patrol agents descended on Chicago, seemingly led by Commander Gregory Bovino.
Are we ready?
Whenever you're ready, sir.
I'm ready.
We're walking.
Making their way through the Millennium Park area, onto the riverfront, and even travelling on the water itself.
I'm a Republican, I'm a conservative. I feel that President Trump has hijacked conservatives.
I don't believe in these people that say that they are conservative and they are Republican. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I think that these people be lying. I think that they are what we call rhinos. They are Republicans in name only. Republicans in name only. These people are not Republicans. They are not conservative. I think that they are super liberal. They vote Democrat. I don't believe it. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I'm just not going for it. I don't believe that I don't think that they're Republicans. People usually at times they'll say they're independent or they're Republican in order to preface something that they're going to say that they don't agree with when it comes to the party that they actually don't vote for. At all.
Has hijacked the Republican Party.
Jacob Narayan finding himself face to face with this spectacle after stepping out of his home.
I'm just walking from my home to my office, and there are armed military personnel on the streets of Chicago for no reason. It's completely unjustified.
Mr. President, do not come to Chicago. You are neither wanted here nor needed here.
Today's display a direct defiance of requests made to President Trump at the state and city level, as those watching it unfold say they're on edge about what comes next.
What I'm fearful of, that this could be normalized, that this is what should happen in our country, when there's no need for this at this point in time.
Now, right now, here where we're standing in the Loop, this is the first police district. If you're looking at crime in this district specifically, it is currently down by 14%. If you take the rest of the city into consideration, we're told by Chicago police that it is down 13%. Now, inside of the last hour, elected officials, community leaders have gathered at the office of the Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights. That press conference is happening over on Wabash Avenue as we speak. Now, amongst those gathered, Congressman Jesus Chuy Garcia, Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, and many others. They have largely been reminding the community of their rights, encouraging Chicagoans to look out for each other, and they have been condemning what they say is federal overreach.
Today's downtown operation, with our fellow Chicagoans being racially profiled and kidnapped by immigration agents in broad daylight, represents a major escalation by the Trump administration. And we're not going to stand for it. That's why you see so many people here represented from all levels of government and community. Together, we are here to condemn this ongoing overreach and expose ICE's operation as one that separates families, disappears our neighbors, and harms Illinoisans of all backgrounds citizens and non-citizens alike.
I don't remember personally, and I could be wrong here. I don't remember personally any citizen that has been removed and deported via ICE. If I'm off, feel free to correct me, but I don't remember any citizen that is removed and or deported as a result of ICE. I could be wrong. I hate when people try to mix stuff in and try to make it seem like we all the same. We not. We're not the same. This was the danger that I actually feared in this election. Once I seen some other signs, I was like, oh no, Trump got this in the bag. This was one of the dangers that I actually feared in this election. Well, Anton, what do you mean? I'll tell you what it is. So during the past election, this past November, right? I was seeing people that were saying, oh, I'm voting against Trump because he's against immigration. We've let so many people into this country. We've let so many people into this country that they've taken over. If you see what is happening over there in Minneapolis, we call Minneapolis Somalia now because now they demand things from their constituents or from anybody that is proposing to become a leader in Minneapolis. You now have to bend to the will of the majority of the population there. And so different cities have been taken over. And you don't want to hear this. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. Let me tell you what people do from other groups. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. You want to know what they do from other groups? When they come here illegally, right? Legally or illegally, when they come here, they all go and concentrate themselves into one area. I remember I was driving through Novi, Michigan, right? And there was this new development, and this was years ago. This was before the pandemic. This was probably mid-teens, a little bit before the mid-teens, so on and so forth. Actually, this probably might have been around 2010, 2012. So this is probably a little over 13 years ago, 12, 13 years ago, right? And I'm driving through Novi, Michigan, which is a suburb of Michigan or a suburb of Detroit. Metro Detroit suburb. Takes you about 30, 35 minutes to get into the city solidly, right? And so I'm in there and I'm driving through and I'm like, oh man, they got a new development over there. And so I went over into the new development and I'm like, this is weird. The only people that I was seeing were Indians. Indian. And this is a brand new development. So the developers were developing properties, but the only people that had not even had opportunities to get in there, but the only people that you would see outside were people of Indian descent. And they look like they had resources. And then you'll see a white person mixed in there and a white person mixed in there. And they would basically be buying homes, and they all bought homes in an entire subdivision that was built. Every single house, dot here, dot there, were Indians. And it's the same thing when it comes to certain other places inside of the United States of America. Over in Dearborn, one of the reasons why Dearborn is getting so much visibility in the news right now is because everything in Dearborn is geared towards Muslims and Arabic people. And so when they come in, they all make sure that they go to a concentrated area. See, the interesting thing about white and black people, let me tell you about white and black people. White and black people, whether you agree with it or not, this is not a right or wrong. I'm just telling you the real. Whether you agree with it or not, white and black people don't care who they live by. They only care about the quality of person that they live with. Let me tell you how dumb we are. All right, let's get real into it. Black people want to be like white people, and white people want to be like black people. And so they all trying to figure it out in the same space, but they hate each other, while the people that are making the most money and the highest household income are Indians and Asians. We keep doing like this. And we're all the ones that are the citizens of the United States of America, and we keep doing like this. And they like this. Yeah, let me get that money. Let me get that opportunity. Let me get that job. Let me take over this neighborhood. Let me make sure that I educate my kids, get an American education. Let me go ahead and bring all of my people over here illegally. And then we're going to go ahead and take over a whole city. And then we're going to force them to be able to do what we want to do because we're the majority of the population and we the voters. And so white people and black people and white people against white people, liberals and conservatives, and black people, they can't wait to call each other coons and sellouts. And then they go ahead and get against each other. And they say, I hate you. You are racist. I hate you, black fatigue. And so nobody actually wants to get back to core American values. Meanwhile, everybody is literally taking over the United States of America. And that's why you see so many different tongues over in the United States. The Bible actually warned us about this. The Bible actually warned us about this. All of these different cultures, all of these different tongues, all over here, because black people is so busy chasing white people because they want acceptance and they want systematic acceptance. So why won't you let us move in your neighborhoods? Even when white people, poor whites, go and move over into the Ozarks of Arkansas, they say, I don't want y'all having your own place. And so they want to be like white people because they want to be in all of the places that white people. So they all move out to the suburbs because white flight happened in the 60s and the 70s and all of the blackest cities, which they left it to black people. So black people is looking to get money so that they can go and move with white people. And they going to sit there and tell you, listen, wealth is silent. And white people is looking for you to move out of your neighborhood so they can go back into the city because they know that's where all of the money is. And so they go in and they buy it cheap and they fix it back up. And then you get mad that white people is coming in where black people is where black people was looking to move with white people and everybody is all mixed up and they don't know what they want. And then they call it gentrification. So if a black person comes in and they cut their grass and they fix up their house, that's just you improving the property. If a white person comes in into a property and then they improve their property or they buy the property and they fix it out, they say, oh man, a white people is coming in. That must be gentrification. And then the black people go over to the white neighborhoods and the white neighbors is like, oh man, I don't know if you bring in the hood with you because you can take the person out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the person. And so they wondering if you're going to park on your grass because they don't know if you're going to be over there being ghetto because you got a little bit of money. And so you trying to come over there with them, but they trying to keep the neighborhood peaceful so that they don't go down. And we just going to keep doing this. Keep doing this. And now we've divided ourselves and we've said, oh, you're liberal and you're conservative. And the liberals, the white liberals are apologists and the black liberals are racist. And so now they don't really like each other, but they like each other enough to not to like you because you're a conservative. And so the white liberals, the apologists, are scared to say something to the black conservatives because they are apologists, but they don't agree with you. And so they then look to their black racist friends to call you a coon because you're a black conservative. And in the white heterosexual male and female, y'all are the enemies. And that's why they're going to shoot up y'all schools and y'all churches. That's it in a nutshell. That's it in a nutshell. Where we're all supposed to be united so that we can actually get people in here to do the right thing and we can raise our children in a good environment and we can figure out how to work together because at our core, we're supposed to all be conservative, traditional Americans, heterosexual, that raise our children in the best communities that then serve God. Everybody like this because everybody want to group up and get against each other and then everybody else get their neighborhoods taken over. And so when you see ICE come into places, oh, get them out because you've been conditioned and programmed to think that this is okay and it's not. So then you can get leaders like Brandon Johnson and all of them to basically be racist. And we think that that is them really upholding American values.
We want to get right to breaking news here at 5 o'clock. Dozens of Border Patrol agents spotted in downtown Chicago. Our cameras captured the armed agents on Michigan Avenue this afternoon. Several leaders just held a press conference to address the situation. Our Lexi Suter on the story. She joins us live with the very latest. Lexi.
Allison, good evening. Really right where I'm standing, just behind me, the heart of the city, Michigan Avenue.
Somebody said, yep, but blacks are lost. Everybody is lost that turned away from God. Everybody is lost that turned away from God because God gave us I told the boy on the live stream on Saturday night, I said, God gave us the blueprint for how we supposed to live our lives. You supposed to be a real man, but you up here sitting up here with a bonnet. Everybody is lost that turned away from God. Everybody is lost that then modified the word to fit their narrative, and then they started flying their gay flags in the church. And got a sassy choir director. But God loves everybody. When did it say that? What scripture? Name it. Name it where he says he loves everybody.
The Riverwalk. That's where we saw the majority of the ICE agents on patrol today. Really a jarring scene for people. Just surprised to see them carrying their weapons, many wearing a mask. I want to get right to this video so you can see it for yourself. Agents were spotted all over downtown. We even caught one interaction with a family at Millennium Park where a mother and child appeared to be taken into custody. Now, in some spots, the agents were not walking, but simply standing, looking around, letting people know that they are here in Chicago. All of the agents that we saw were carrying weapons. Many had long...
I didn't live stream on YouTube. I went live because somebody asked me I did a reaction video to. They asked me could I pull up on their TikTok. So I went to their TikTok and I had a conversation with them.
Guns, and many wore a mask. Just a few minutes ago, leaders addressed this situation. Take a listen.
Today, we witnessed the further militarization of ICE tactics in Chicago as they showed up.
What's his name? Y'all know, I know y'all like to say Jesus. No, they named him Jesus. They named him Jesus. Listen, don't know. And Jays ain't silent no more over here on the Millionaire Morning Show.
Of ICE tactics in Chicago as they showed
Another
up
$100,000
downtown
plus
to indiscriminately continue
alderman
to profile against people just because of what they look like.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson retweeting a video.
Mike Ford, I like this. You says, the word says, what you do to the least of mine, you do to me, you do unto me. Well, here's the thing. First, you got to be his. First, you have to be his in order for you to do something to him. You first got to be his. You ain't want to, you forgot that part. First, you got to be his. We don't honor devils. We don't honor demons. We don't give respect to people that are disrespectful. We don't do none of that. We don't do none of that. Listen. We in a war. I know you don't believe it. I know you don't think it's a thing. I know you think that everybody is supposed to be kumbaya, but what I am telling you is that we are straight up, without a shadow of a doubt, we are in strange days and strange times. Strange days and strange times. I'm not sitting here negotiating with these people that are full of the devil. I'm going to tell you straight up to your face. Just like I told the young man. I told him straight up. For those of y'all that was watching, shout out to y'all. He said, man, I want to live stream with you, man. I got something I want to say to you. I said, all right, cool. I heard you was looking for me. Where we pulling up at? Send me the link. I pulled up. We had the conversation. I said, man, listen, I'm going to just tell you right now, you a fake Christian. You scared. You can't wait for this live stream to end because I'm telling you too much truth. And I'm not wavering, and I'm not sitting here being politically correct trying to make your audience feel good about what we talking about right now. I'm not really sure if you thought that you was getting yourself into something good or bad today, but I'm going to tell you the truth, and I love you enough to chastise you. We gonna get there. Let me read some of these super chats. Queen 71. What's up, my queen? Says prison is not justice. They will adjust to life in prison, probably live better than the mother who is in prison for the rest of her life on her own with her own body. Yeah, I agree. They can work themselves down into a minimum security. John McGuire says ICE removing citizen. Yes, it does happen. Rare. Under Biden, they accidentally deported about a dozen citizens. Remember, it is the government, and regardless of who is in charge, they are not exactly perfect. Oh, we ain't looking for them to be perfect. Carrington Love Jr. says, great show, Anton. Thank you, Carrington Love Jr. Let's go, Pastor Time. I don't look at myself as a pastor. I just look at myself as a truth teller. Angel says, bring back 90s golden era hip hop. That's what you got out of that hip hop? Well, don't worry about it. We're going to continue on with the show. So, in addition to that, speaking of ICE, Trump is deploying personnel. We're going to say personnel over to Portland, and the people are angry about it.
This morning, President Trump saying he's ready to send more federal troops into yet another American city. The president posting online that he was directing the defense secretary to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland. The governor of Oregon saying she told President Trump in a phone call that the state does not need federal troops.
Our city is a far cry from the war-ravaged community that he has posted about on social.
Look at this. What is this? What is this? And I'm asking honestly because I am so perplexed and confused on who y'all are electing and why they are the leaders of some of y'all cities. Can somebody tell me what this is? Is this, and I'm honest to God, is this a biologically born man or is this a biologically born woman? Is this a biologically born male or is this a biologically born woman? I would like to know for my own information because I have to figure it out. I want to know, is this a biologically born man or is this a biologically born woman? Somebody let me know what this is. All right.
Social media.
I know it's a Subaru driver. Facts. I know they drive a Subaru. Either they drive a Subaru or they drive a Toyota hybrid Prius. Subaru or Prius driver here, guys. Definitely a Subaru or a Prius driver. And look at the people around them. Look at the people around them. Weird. Portland is the weirdest place I've ever seen in my entire life.
And I conveyed that directly to him.
That comes as President Trump has threatened to surge federal forces to multiple cities, including Memphis, Chicago, Baltimore, and New Orleans. Back in Washington, a potential federal government shutdown is looming as Republicans and Democrats have until midnight on Wednesday to extend government funding. The top two Republicans and top two Democrats in Congress are now set to meet with President Trump at the White House on Monday, one White House and two congressional officials tell NBC News.
Let me spin over. I want to give y'all the leader's perspective over there in Portland of what is happening because I'm not going to play the whole speech, but this beautiful young man right here is going to give us some insight on what's going on. You know what? Do you know how you know that you're not supposed to be whatever it is that you're changing yourself into or whatever it is that y'all know that y'all identify as? Did you know? Like, let's say you're a biologically born man. And this is not singular to them, but this is certainly the truth. Let's say you're a biologically born man, right? And then you transition over into being a woman. If you are a ugly woman as a biologically born man, that is a sign. Let's say you are a woman and you are transitioning into you're a biologically born woman and you decide that you want to transition into a man, right? If you still hit, then that means that you should have just stayed what it is that you were. No, that don't make sense to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, ain't no way in the world that you can transition from a woman into being a man or presenting or be male presenting and be an ugly man. Because women are naturally pretty. Women are naturally softer. So you just supposed to be like, you supposed to be a dope guy. You supposed to be okay, all right, you know what? They gonna get all of the chicks now. You know what? No, that don't make sense. Like, you ever seen a chick and she's butch, right? Or she's the male version of a a lesbian, right? And you be like, nah, you a baddie. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be, listen, take that when you get yourself together, when you finish going through that phase and you decide that you want to be a woman again, I'll be here waiting on you. Like, you still a girl. You still a chick. At the end of the day, no matter how much you sag your pants or you try to rap like Young M.A., you still a woman. You still a woman at the end of the day. Anyways, this is the Portland leaders over in Oregon talking about they don't want troops over there. There's been a lot of protests, but the troops are starting to pull up, and this is what she had to say. He, she, whatever it is. I don't know what they identify as.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here.
That's a biological.
Thank you for joining me and the group of elected leaders and community leaders behind me. We are in the central city of Portland, Oregon, and it is a beautiful day, and we are very happy to be here speaking with you today. In my conversations directly with President Trump and Secretary Noem, I have been abundantly clear with them that Portland and the state of Oregon believe in the rule of law, and we can manage our own local public safety needs. There is no insurrection, there is no threat to national security, and there is no need for military troops in our major city. Military service members should be dedicated to real emergencies. The members of the Oregon National Guard, their mission is to stand up and protect Oregonians, and they will do that every day, but they are not needed in the city. They are not needed here. And you can tell because you're here with me in Portland. You can see that this city is safe and calm, and it is a beautiful day to be here. For those of you who are here downtown or watching at home, you know that our city is not the place that people think it is from years ago. There's business thriving. People are coming downtown. They are enjoying this community. We have students who are ready to go see the Lion King tonight at the Keller Auditorium. People are going to the Timbers match. People are downtown shopping. Folks who are getting ready to go to work at the restaurants here that make the Rose City a culinary capital are getting ready to go to work. People are shopping. People are going to the farmers markets or at the Saturday market. Portland's doing just fine. And I made that very clear to the president this morning. Our city is a far cry from the war-ravaged community that he has posted about on social media.
I will tell you, as a person that recently visited Portland, and y'all know that I visited Portland, I was over there for a game. I was over there because my daughter was having a taekwondo competition in Portland. And I wound up going to a basketball game, and I went and visited a lot of the city. It is probably, of all the places that I visited, and this is the God's honest truth, and I was telling Rita this one day. I said, of all the places that I visited, Portland has got to be the most demonic place that I've ever seen in my entire life. Of all of them. Bro, it is the weirdest soy milk sipping, latte drinking, color hair having, septum ring walking around. I accept devil worshipers as my friend watching tattoo your eyeballs place, fairies, men are women, women are men place that I've ever been in my entire life. And it wasn't even close. It's not even close. I have never, ever in my life seen this many fairies walking around. Gender neutral people is a thing. Honestly, gender neutral people are a thing over there in Portland. I said, where is Nike? Where is Nike? Honest to God, bruh. I've been to everywhere. I've been all over the United States of America. Maybe not everywhere, but I've been to a lot of places. I've been all over Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, all of them cities in between up in Florida, Tampa, go up to Atlanta. I've been all through Tennessee, outside of Memphis. I didn't go to Memphis yet. I was over in Nashville and in Knoxville. I've been over there too. I've been to Kentucky. I've been to Indianapolis. I've been to Gary, Indiana. Bruh, I would rather live in Gary, Indiana than live in Portland. And that is the honest to God on everything. If you said, Anton, you got to pick one. Live in Portland or Gary. I'm going to Gary all day long. I've been to Milwaukee. I've been to Chicago. I've been to Peoria. I've been to Pittsburgh. I've been to Connecticut. I've been to all of the cities. New York, New Jersey, Springfield, Los Angeles, all up and down, Canada, all of these places, Windsor, Vegas, Reno, Houston, Dallas, Biloxi, Mississippi. I've been all up in this whole place. Been to a lot of places, bro. I would rather, and it's the honest to God truth, I would rather go and make my life in Gary, Indiana than go and live in Portland. Portland is, people often ask me, right? They say, because you know that I travel to a lot of different places and I used to vlog a lot. And I used to always vlog and try to capture the heart and the essence of a city. And people always ask me to say, what is the worst place that you've ever visited? Definitively. And this is not a knock. I'm not trying to throw y'all under the bus over there in Portland, but I'm just being honest. Of all of the places that I've ever visited, Portland is the worst. It's the worst. Portland makes you want to punch yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll leave Portland and be like, you just got to shake it off because it's like, yo, I got to make sure I still got my masculinity. Make sure I didn't go back to being liberal Anton. Portland will make you vote for Hillary Clinton without even thinking twice. I started looking at Kamala different, and I said, you know what, Kamala, is she really that bad? My daughter said, Dad, don't let Portland get to you. You know, Bernie, he says some things that I can get behind. Said, Dad, shake out of it. Get out of it, Dad. Somebody book a flight immediately and get him out of there. You know what? AOC, she's not too bad. I said, oh, man, I got to get the hell up out of here. I got to get out of here. I gotta go. I got to get out of here, bro. Get me out of Portland immediately.
And I conveyed that directly to him. That we got this. We are good. We are doing fine. Over there.
Look at the people. Look how weird
and
they
I
are.
Also said to him, we have to be careful not to respond to outdated media coverage or misinformation that's out there. We know what's happening in our own city, and we are doing just fine. That being said, we do face real challenges in Portland, as does the rest of the country. We're worried about the cost of living. We want our schools to do what is necessary for our students, and we want to make sure that people have good jobs and homes that they can afford. I need help for those kinds of things, and that's the kind of help I need.
And Portland is actually experiencing a budget deficit, I believe. I was doing some research on Portland. Check it out. You think I'll be lying? Listen, I'm telling you, every single liberal city that I can think of, it seems like Portland is on edge. They all falling into the same bucket. They all falling into the same boat, bro. They projected to face a $93 million to over $100 million budget deficit for its 2025 and 2026 fiscal year, driven by declining property and business tax revenues. That mean that people are getting the heck out of Portland. Business owners, rich people, they leaving. They're leaving. What's their mayor name? Mayor name is Keith Wilson. Wait a minute. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me see something. Oh, God. That's the governor. So we was listening to the governor. What's the governor name? Tina Kotek. So it is a woman. Traditionally born woman. Yeah, man, they facing a budget deficit. Cuts to city services, decreased tax revenue, expiration of federal funds, budget cuts, new revenue streams. Yeah, right. They actually have a tax increase. Portland is in trouble, y'all. Portland is in trouble. Portland is in trouble. Trouble.
Not having military troops from the federal government in our state. President Trump's inconceivable insistence that we need federal troops in Portland does not address the real concerns in our communities. We do not need or want federal troops in Oregon, stoking fear, creating conflict, and frankly, escalating a situation that is under control.
Listen, the fact of the matter is the majority of these cities are crumbling. Some of them, it's going to take longer for them to crumble versus others. A place like Chicago, they're going to crumble immediately. Places like Portland and stuff like that, it takes them a little bit longer for them to fail because they're just now getting into the thick of things. But the problem with Portland is that they have such high taxes. It's high. Taxes is high in Portland. Super high taxes. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Oh, we making great time today. We making great time today. Without question, says Bonnet Bay is a tambourine player. Y'all so crazy. Carrington Love Jr. says, in the South, we call people passa when they are speaking the truth. It's really a street phrase. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. You know me, I'm up here from the Midwest. Mr. St. James says, as a combat vet in the mental health field, blaming PTSD for killing people is a red herring. Without question says, why all white studs look alike? There are only three archetypes. Either they are Ellen DeGenerate. She looks old. She got old immediately. Biker gang type stud or Bobby Hill. I'm just saying. Shout out to you. Without question. King to all says, from Gary, Portland must be effed up Jesus. Listen, I can make a way in Gary. That's what y'all slipping on. That's what y'all sleeping on. I think that the dumbest thing that a lot of people do, especially people that don't have kids. Now, when you have kids, you have to consider things a little bit differently. I think that some of the dumbest things that people do is they can't really afford to live in certain places, but they choose to go and pay an extraordinary amount of rent in order to try to fit in the narrative. Like when I see people that move down to Miami and they go and try to spend all of this money to try to keep up with the Joneses, I'll be like, what is y'all doing? Y'all so stupid. When I see people go over and they try to move over to Atlanta or LA and they can't really afford to be there, I'm like, man, what are y'all doing? What are you talking about? Now, what I would do is I would go over into an area that is a very low cost of living. And if I was able to work from home or whatever like that, I would just stack up my bread. We have a misconception of what a home is. A home is a way for you to be able to have shelter. That is it. That is it. Now, if you get to a point where you can financially start to move a little bit differently, cool. You're supposed to upgrade over time, but anyways, I don't want to get into that. You know me, I start getting in my real estate bag. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Let me go ahead and continue on with the show. So, what I do want to get into also before we start talking about New York, because we got to go over to New York and then we got to get to the Starbucks workers. What I want to talk about is this man right here. Now, at first glance, this gentleman looks like a stand-up gentleman. Very much give us free vibes. This is very much give us free vibes. Educated. Know how to talk. I've never heard him talk, but I'm profiling, I'm stereotyping. Give us free. This is give us free vibes. Right? Stand-up gentleman seems to be doing the right thing, wearing the right clothes, you know? Making sure that he's taking care of business. But what we didn't know, Mr. Give us free, well, what you weren't aware of is the fact that he was over here illegally. Ooh. Over here illegally. Yeah. See, ladies. Y'all might be talking to somebody illegally out here in these streets. Mm-hmm. Yep. You talking to a deportee. That's what y'all talking to. You talking to a deportee. Somebody that is on the ICE hit list. But the bigger question that we should be asking ourselves is, how did this man become the superintendent of Iowa schools, of a large portion of Iowa schools? He worked his way up in order to be successful. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into we're going to look at two different versions of this. We're going to look at the CBS version, and then we're going to go over to the Fox News version because we got to compare and contrast.
A protest that erupted after ICE agents arrested the head of Iowa's largest school district. Immigration officials say Des Moines Public Schools Superintendent Ian Roberts was considered an ICE fugitive. And
I don't believe that was his real name. Ian? So did that look like an Ian to y'all? Don't look like an Ian to me. Look like an Ubuntu. Look like an Ubuntu. I know that the people is protesting. We're going to get there. That don't look like Ian. Maybe he changed his name. What's your name? So Ian Roberts. Ian Roberts.
Was living and working.
I would have flagged him right there and there. What's your name, sir? Let me see your ID. I'm Ian Roberts. Really, bro? You couldn't come up with a better name than that? You look like an Ubuntu to me. Let me see. Let me see this ID. Your ID match. I don't know. Okay, here you go, Ian.
Illegally. Lana Zach.
Ian is Jamaican, Latoya? Okay. What about Roberts? Roberts ain't Jamaican. Is Roberts Jamaican? I'm not going for it. You can't fool me. You're not fooling me. But we'll get there.
Protesters rallied outside of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration offices.
Look at all of these white apologists. Look at them. Stare at them. The liberal white woman and the liberal white gay man has become the biggest thorn in the United States of America. Look at them. All you see is women, white women. You see a couple feminine men down there at the bottom. White women, women, everywhere. everywhere. They are everywhere. They got septum nose rings. That's where the black girls got it from. Black girls, y'all wasn't doing that before you seen your liberal white counterparts from Portland doing it in Seattle. That's why I don't take y'all serious. When I see a black girl, I ain't talking about the nose ring. Nose ring, I know y'all got that from Tupac. The septum ring, and they gotta talk like this right after they get it. Y'all got them from liberal white women. Y'all want to be white women so bad while talking negatively about them. Half of y'all don't even know where y'all got that. No, we got that from Africa. No, you didn't. You got that from Susan. She was a barista in Portland with purple hair and pink highlights, and that's who you got it from. No, you didn't. You don't know nothing about Africa. You don't know nothing about Africa. You got it straight from Susan and San Francisco.
In Des Moines Friday, stunned by the arrest of public school superintendent Ian Roberts, an immigrant from Guyana.
The general public, I think, is not okay with what's happening.
In a targeted enforcement operation, Roberts allegedly fled before being arrested. Officials say inside the vehicle he was driving, they found thousands of dollars in cash and a loaded handgun.
That's how you know somebody is doing something they're not supposed to do. He was trying to get up out of Dodge. No, they caught us. Give us free. They caught us. He was trying to get up out of there. They got him with a handgun. What you doing with a pistol, Mr. Ian Roberts? You got a pistols and thousands of dollars. What you going to do? Where you going? Huh?
It is a crime for someone without legal status to possess a firearm.
We do not have all the facts. There is much we do not know. However, what we do know is that Dr. Roberts has been an integral part of our school community.
Roberts became superintendent of Iowa's largest school system in 2023.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. He got all of the snow bunnies. He got him all of the snow bunnies. He did it. He did it. He knew what he was doing. I see you, Ian. Get to the bag, Ian. That's how you got that superintendent job. That's how you got the superintendent job. Snow bunnies. Ubuntu got him all of the snow bunnies. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah. He played the. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I see you, Mr. Roberts. I ain't hating on you. I ain't hating on you at all.
The district says he disclosed that he had previously pled guilty to a minor firearms charge.
Yeah.
We have a plan to reimagine education here for the...
I told you he talked like that. I told you he talked like that. We have a plan to reimagine the education. Yeah, you fit it. You got it, big dog.
Future in Des Moines.
But they say they were not aware of a deportation order issued last May. Roberts is accused of overstaying a student visa issued in 1999. In a statement, the local ICE director tells CBS this should be a wake-up call for our community to the great work that our office...
Hey, you listen. One thing about me is I'm not no hater. I ain't never been a hater. He fresh to death. Got his whole dapper thing on, had the pink thing on the lapel. I ain't never been a hater. He fresh. He just ain't got no passport. He ain't got no green card. You gotta go. Gotta go, bro. Gotta go. He fresh though. He fresh. I bet you he got him a couple snow bunnies on speed dial. He fresh, but he gotta go.
Officers are doing every day to remove public safety threats.
I love Dr. Roberts.
I bet you do. You love him. I bet you do. You love Dr. Robertson. I told y'all. Listen, black men. Listen. I told y'all in a previous live stream that you guys are the salt of the earth. Get yourself together. Get your life together. Get your money right. You're not dusty. You just poor. You not dusty. You just poor. They love you. I love Dr. Ian. I love him. He's the best. I can't believe it. They will protest for your freedom. They will protest for your freedom. You could be illegal. Now, Juan over there, Juan Juarez, Jesus, Jorge, they ain't tripping about them. They get arrested. You know what? We don't like illegals over here only because we don't like Trump. If you Jorge, you don't get the same grace. If you Ian, it's a little bit different. I love him. Oh, God, I love him. It's not the same. It's the difference between assault and aggression and being forthcoming. I love him. I love Doctor. I love him.
It has been a wonderful superintendent for us.
Roberts, a former Olympic athlete, had been well liked by many in the community. And while some are now questioning what background checks were done by the school district, others are questioning the motivation behind the arrest.
He was targeted specifically.
Look at all of those white women out there. Look at those white women out there trying to ensure that he gets his job back. Give him superintendent. Oh, God, he's great for the kids. I'll tell you who called the immigration. You want to know who got immigration on him? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. Want me to tell you who called immigration? A white man. I'm sure of it. If you said, Anton, you got to bet $100,000 on who called immigration to look into Ian's background. Somebody's wife got a little too liking, kept on coming home. That Ian, I love our superintendent. It's just different. You know, I never thought that I really loved it as much as I do. I just want to get involved in the schools. And niggas start snooping around. You know what? I'm going to come to parent-teacher conference with you to see what this address is. Seeing this nigga, what the fuck is going on over here? Susan? I'm going to check his papers. He don't look like an Ian to me. That's all right. I got somebody from check his papers. Next thing you know, this nigga fleeing with a gun and multiple thousands of dollars. I'm telling you that a white man called a married heterosexual white man with 2 children and trying to figure out life called immigration on him all day long. All day long. Let's get the Fox News perspective to better understand what happened to Ian over here.
Well, on to this. This is hard to believe. Des Moines Schools superintendent arrested by ICE. ICE announcing Friday that Ian Andre Roberts is, quote, a criminal illegal alien from Ghana in possession of a loaded handgun, $3,000 in cash, and a fixed-blade hunting knife. At the time of his arrest, Roberts was working as the superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools, despite being an illegal alien with a final order of removal and no work
King Manasseh,
authorization.
you wrote. I'm telling. Okay, who don't think I'm telling the truth? If you had to bet $100,000 on this, on who called ICE on this dude, who would you bet? Does everybody feel more secure now? Everybody feel happier. Listen. One thing about white men, and it just is what it is. Everybody gets profiled over here on the Anton Daniels channel, so don't feel left out. One thing I know about white men, heterosexual white men, I don't know if you want to call it. It's only really 2 types, especially in suburbs, right? It's the cucks, right? It's them. Because they don't see black people as threatening. They see black men that have their stuff together, that their wives think is attractive, as threatening. So either they're going to invite you into the bedroom to participate, or they're going to get you up out of there. Hey, man, who is this guy? Who is this Ian person? Don't look like an Ian to me. Comes in with his cornrows, his hair is all twisted up. He got his little pink flower. Fucking former athlete. He was an Olympian too. Now get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Nope. No. Rather have a lesbian in there. Rather have a nice lesbian grandmother running the superintendent show than Ian Roberts. Who does he think he is? Obama? No, we're not having it.
Roberts has existing weapons possession charges from February 5th, 2020, and was given a final order of removal by an immigration judge in May of 2024. Absolutely stunning. Former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf joins me now. You know, Chad, you and I worked together when I was in the White House. Yeah. It is shocking to me that someone in charge of our school district, the largest school district in Iowa, had a final removal order. How does that happen? I don't think it would have happened under your tenure.
Well, it's a great question. Obviously, the school district did not do their due diligence. He has a criminal record as well. So clearly they didn't do any type of background investigation. The amazing part here is he has no work authorization. So when they enter this individual's information into their system in order to get paid, to pay taxes and the like, all sorts of red flags.
Kids like him. Hey, man, my daughter keep coming home talking about Dr. Roberts. What the hell is going on here? Kids are, hey, oh my God, I wish it was my daddy. Nah, get this motherfucker. Get him out of here. Yeah, you gotta go, dog.
Should have been prompted there. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they say, to see how this individual, did he use an alias? How did this come about? And I think it begged the further question of the amount of illegal aliens that are here in the United States,
keep smiling
working
every
in
day
everyday jobs and the like. And some of them, like this individual who has a possession charge, has other criminal acts on their record, and to be so close to school children, right? To be part of the education system there in Des Moines is really troubling.
I mean, Chad, I look at these pictures and I see kids, and I think that could have been my kid. And this guy had a criminal charge. Do you think, and again, I know I'm asking you to speculate here, did they just not input his name into the system? How often does this happen? I mean, there are measures in place. I mean, it seems like it'd have to take a whole lot of looking the other way to not find this.
I think so. Look, the school system there, just like any other employer around the country, has an obligation to make sure that everyone that they're hiring is here in the United States legally, has the ability to work legally. So if they're not a U.S. citizen, then they have some type of work authorization provided by the federal government. In this case, the Department of Homeland Security. He didn't have any of this. And so the question is, did he provide a fraudulent social security number and was operating as someone else? And if not, I think there's a lot of questions that school system has to answer. And the question is, are there?
Yeah, they got to get that school system audited and see what white woman put him through and didn't do any of the investigation, or did the investigation to see whether or not this guy had a criminal background. This dude got a criminal background, got caught with a gun before, illegal, and somehow he was able to work himself up into being a superintendent. Get the hell out of here. Then listen, I know that this is the Millionaire Morning Show, and I know we cover different things that's happening in popular culture and news and money and everything, but we use our context clues over here. And the one thing I know for sure, and two things is for certain, is that he certainly did not work his way up in the traditional sense into being a superintendent with all of these red flags. Do you know how many background checks you got to go through just to go and work for a public institution? Boy, they go through and they check everything. They check your credentials. They check your social security number. They drug test you. They go and double check to make sure you actually graduated from the college that you said that you're going to graduate from. They do a criminal background check and the whole 9 yards. On every level, every time you excel, they do a new check. You're telling me that he was a superintendent of Iowa schools and he was able to make it all the way up to be it? Get the heck out of here, bro. Get out of here. Listen, ain't nobody fooling me. You ain't fooling me. It's too many white women that's protesting. Release Ian. Release Ian. Let him go. I don't like you, Trump. You get a chicken. Listen, man. Listen. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to be absolutely transparent with y'all. You can get a chick to vote a certain way. You can get her to change her political affiliation if you put her in the couch. I know the daycares is listening, so I got to be real PG-13. I got to be real focused. The churches, I know that. You can get a chick to change her political affiliation. Listen, all of that liberalness that y'all got going over there, all of you, I hate men, I ain't going 50-50 and all of that, you ain't been put in the couch. A barrier in that couch, and watch her change. Watch she start. I don't cook for men. All of a sudden she cook. I don't do nothing. All of a sudden she trying to get herself together. Bury her in the couch and see how watch change her whole political affiliation. She's conservative now. She's a housewife. She's focused. Trying to figure out what her life is like. To change her whole makeup. Everything about her is different now. Bail you out, give you their paychecks, they'll do whatever. They do whatever. That's the God's honest truth. That's the God's honest truth. Put her head in the couch and watch her change. New person, new woman. New woman, new everything. And if you don't know, then you just not it. And that's it. That's all that's to that. That's all we can talk about on the Millionaire Morning Show. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Keep on wondering, why she keep dealing with him? He's so toxic. Why, what makes her, she will endure through anything. Because her head was in the couch. You think she just there for her just because he's fun? If Ubuntu, Mr. Joe says, if Ubuntu can illegally work his way up to being a superintendent, I don't want to hear ish from the blackity blacks about the system oppressing them. Executive Suite MLE says they out here protesting like lean on me. When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. We don't want a new president, but we want Mr. Clark. Free Mr. Clark. Courtney says that white dude who called ICE on Ian probably was liberal as hell, too. We want Mr. Clark. King to all says AD, he been in Iowa tearing that raisin potato salad up, and the husband's found out and dropped a dime on him. I'm going to drop a dime on him. I'm going to drop a dime on him. Or that baby came out well done. The baby came out well done. Oh, King to all, what up, though? What up? I appreciate you, big dog. Also, Wyatt. Wyatt is in the building. Wyatt says, you think the paper comes across his desk first and Habibo throws it away? They've been trying to set up. Listen, they've been on him for a long time. They've been trying to get him up out of there for a long time. They finally got him. Ubuntu, get your black Olympic butt back over to where you came from. We not having it no more. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ready to continue on them? Is this not the greatest show on earth? I'm going to tell you the truth. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. Are y'all not a part of the Patreon? Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We got some great live streams coming up for you guys. We got to go over to New York, okay? We're going to get to Starbucks shortly, but first we got to go to New York, all right? So the reason why we got to go to New York, I don't know why that's not showing. There we go. The reason why we have to go to New York is because Eric Adams, sitting here with a picture of his mother, this is what I need y'all to do, all right? Stop forcing everybody to like your mama. Stop forcing everybody to like your kids. Everybody don't like your mama the way that you like them. Everybody don't like your kids the way that you like them, all right? And I know he's honoring his mother by announcing that he's giving up his campaign. and he's no longer going to be running for mayor, and he wants to let her know, hey, mama, I made it into the governor's mansion, or I made it into mayor's mansion. But everybody don't like your mama the way that you like them, all right? He could have made this announcement on an iPhone sitting at the dinner table. But let's get into it. We're going to get into a little bit of what he says, and then we're going to go over to Zoran Mamdani and what his reaction is to it. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. I'll continue to read Super Chats throughout the show. Also, Q show is tonight. We're going to get it popping, all right? We're going to get it popping. Let's get it.
Nearly 4 years ago, Gracie Mansion became my home. Who would have thought that a kid from South Jamaica, Queens, growing up with learning disabilities could one day become the mayor of the greatest city in the world? I cannot thank my mother enough for instilling in me the values she lived by. I hope every parent can use my life as an example for their child during challenging moments. Only in America can a story like this be told. When I was elected to serve as your mayor, I said these words: this campaign was never about me. It was about the people of this city, from every neighborhood and background, who had been left behind and believed they would never catch up. This campaign was for the underserved, the marginalized, the abandoned, and betrayed by government. Since then, it has been my honor to be your mayor, and I'm proud to say that we took that victory 4 years ago and turned it into action, making this city better for those who have been failed by government. I felt immense pride serving you every day, and look at what we accomplished together. We built more housing in one term than any administration before us, and removed barriers to build even more. We drove crime down so far that this year we are on track to have fewer shootings and murders than at any point in our city's history.
What up, Mega?
We raised test scores and attendance through bold education reforms. We made record investments that fueled our economy and drove employment to all-time highs. And we lowered costs for working and low-income families, expanding funding for rental vouchers, childcare, and household costs, while eliminating...
Listen. They can talk all of this mumbo jumbo that they want, but let me tell you something that I know about leadership. All right? In leadership, people remember you for the things that you didn't do or for the mistakes that you made. Now, I don't know about all of this, right? Because I'm not about to go through and deep dive and try to fact check and see how much he changed housing and all of that stuff. I don't really care. Let me tell you what people do remember. People remember how you responded to a crisis. It's one of the reasons why one of his people that he running against, he got ousted in the primary. That migrant crisis, that is going to, I told y'all, the migrant crisis was going to be the nail in the coffin for a lot of politicians. Whether you're talking about in Chicago, Los Angeles, Denver, all of that. People not going to forget that, because people remember what they were going through when you decided to make the worst decision. One thing I know about people, right, is that they will endure with you if they feel like you're in a fight with them. This is a leadership symposium that I'm giving you right now. People they okay with going through stuff. They okay with suffering. They okay with not being successful right away. They okay with making sure, hey, listen, we gonna roll with you. We gonna promise you. That's if they feel like you're in the fight with them. But the minute that they feel like you betray them is when you up out of there. And this migrant crisis, along with the pandemic, along with bad management, and then you had to start cutting city services, and you got a scandal on top of you, and you was attached to Biden. It was too much. It was too much. It was absolutely too much. Women, anything you do in a relationship can be related to business, and it can be related to politics. Women will endure with a man that they believe in, that they think is building towards something, that has something going on. If they believe that he is putting his all into something, even if they are suffering, even if they got to lower their lifestyle, even if they have to endure, even if they got to do something different, if they got to go back to work, they will do it because they see a vision in him and they believe in him. But the minute that you then break that trust, it's over. It's over. It's over. If she feel like she got finessed, it's the same way when it comes to voters. Voters ain't even tripping off your past. That's the thing that a lot of politicians don't understand. They don't expect for you to be perfect. They don't even want a perfect politician. They don't want a perfect live streamer. They don't want a perfect content creator. They don't want a person that necessarily ain't got no dirt on them. They ain't tripping about that. They know you got flaws. They know you just like them, right? But you're going to have to do something more to give them a reason to want to watch you, to believe in you, to want to vote for you, to want to be with you. It's not about being perfect. It's about working towards something and building with people. And the minute that they believe that you betrayed them is when they then walk away from you. That's the reason why Umar Johnson became a leper. It's the reason why a lot of these different people became a leper, right? And it's no different from your local politician. Eric Adams, Brandon Johnson, Karen Bass, Mike Johnston, all of those people are going to then see their next election result in them being ousted, and they're going to have no support. Ain't nobody going to put no money behind you. Don't nobody want to put their name behind you. Don't nobody want to stand behind you. The only person that like you is your mother and maybe the person that you sit next to every day. The way that he handled the things that was most important, that he got the most visibility for, I didn't think that he was going to be able to come back from. Which then gave rise to the opposite, a socialist, communist, and New York is going to die. I don't know how to put it any more straightforward to you guys, but New York is in trouble. It is in so much trouble. I can't think of a city that is going to be more under duress within the next 15 years than New York City.
Income tax burden for more than 500,000 New Yorkers. Even so, I know many New Yorkers have yet to feel the full impact of these historic achievements. I know many are still worried about affordability, about safety, and their future here. But trust me when I tell you, what we've started will continue to reach every community in this city. It's not always easy to see the impact of good policy in just 3 years. I also know some remain unsure of me after the unfortunate events surrounding my federal case. I was wrongfully charged because I fought for this city. And if I had to do it again, I would fight for New York again. And yet, despite all we've achieved, I cannot continue my re-election campaign. The constant media speculation about my future and the Campaign Finance Board's decision to withhold millions of dollars have undermined my ability to raise the funds needed for a serious campaign.
So, Eric Adams is dropping out. I want to go over to Zoran Mamdani. Of course, he pulled up on MSNBC because he's a new darling of the Democrat Party. They'll get behind anybody that has some motion. They're willing to sell their souls and get on their knees in order to do so. This was his reaction to it, apparently. I haven't seen it. I've seen the Eric Adams one. He dropped that on X, formerly known as Twitter, and this is his reaction to it, apparently. This is what he had to say.
Some major breaking news in the New York City mayor. Independent mayors had been struggling in the polls with a recent Fox News poll showing him dead last at 8% behind his rivals. Earlier in a video,
we've achieved kind of.
We got to say that we weren't expecting to have you here, so we really appreciate you making time because of the news. I'll start broadly by getting your reaction to the fact that Eric Adams, who was polling fourth, has dropped out, and what this means for the race going forward.
Look, Donald Trump and his billionaire donors may be able to determine the actions of Eric Adams and Andrew Cuomo, but they will not dictate the results of this election. This continues to be the same election as it was when we started on October 23rd, a choice that New Yorkers have between Eric Adams' record, which is Andrew Cuomo's agenda, one that has priced New Yorkers out of what is now the most expensive city in the United States of America, or our vision for a city that New Yorkers can actually afford. And I'm excited and just as confident as I was yesterday at actually delivering that vision and winning this race on November 4th.
Do you have a sense of what's behind this decision today? We've all heard that Curtis Lewa, the Republican, claims that he's been offered large sums of money from powerful people to get out of the way. Do you think that's what's happened here?
I think we have to put this in a larger context where after we beat Andrew Cuomo by 13 points in the Democratic primary, he called Donald Trump to ask what they could do together to defeat our campaign in the general election. And Donald Trump has spoken time and again about how he wants to narrow this race, how he wants to use every tool at his disposal to try and stop this campaign for affordability. And we're seeing amidst all of that here yet again the moment where he is shaping this race, but we're going to show him that New Yorkers are tired of his politics and they're tired of being priced out of the city.
Listen. I don't even know where this guy came from. Overnight, he just became a star and a sensation in New York. Overnight, he became a star and a sensation of New York. I am sad because the New York as we've known it is no more. This is over. It is a strong, and when I say strong, I mean strong possibility that he's going to win. Andrew Cuomo is trash. And unfortunately for New Yorkers, the ones that are going to suffer the most are the ones that can't afford to leave. The ones that are going to struggle the most, the ones that are going to suffer the most are the ones that cannot afford to leave. Right after this happened, billionaires and millionaires have been leaving and packing up and trying to figure out how to get the heck out of New York in droves. In droves. I sat on a plane with a guy yesterday on my way back to Detroit, and he said that he had lived in New York for 40 years. Just so happened to be because he was watching me work on a plane or whatever because I was doing all of my content stuff. And he's a really good guy. We exchange information and everything like that. But he said he has lived in New York for 40 years. He said he got the heck up out of there. I said, what are you doing on a plane from Florida up to Michigan? He said, I'm moving back home. He said, I was born here. He said, I came here for a Lions game previously, and I came back again, and I got some family here. And I found a house here, and some people may know he moved over into Birmingham. He said, I got an office and a studio that I set up here. I also got a place that I travel back and forth to. He said he had a home that burned up in the Palisades, like it was like a vacation home. A home that burned up out there during those fires. He said he's leaving New York. He said he had to get the heck up out of there. He said he's getting the heck up out of there. He said all of his friends is leaving. It's not something that he's interested in. He said New York is going to go to hell. I'm like, really? You think so? I said, I'm going to use this on my show tomorrow. I said, I'm going to use this on my show tomorrow. He said, I know so. I know so. This guy came out of nowhere he openly says that he's a socialist and a communist, and the whole city got behind him. It's over. It's over. And the people that are left are the ones that's going to suffer from it. Because millionaires and billionaires, they can go anywhere. Millionaires and billionaires, they can literally go anywhere. And then they just can come back and visit the parts of New York that they want to visit. I think it's over. I think New York is going to absolutely collapse within the next 10 to 15 years. They have so much revenue because they got Wall Street and all of these people. They got so much revenue and they got such high taxes that they'll be able to endure long enough, but he's going to do a number on the city. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We got to get over to Starbucks. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to get over to Starbucks. Me University says, don't let them hit bottom. Don't let them hit the bottom. Well, only some people going to understand what that means. Me University. This is a PG-13 show. Manny Play says, Ubuntu definitely like the big back snow bunnies. Nah. He can have his pick of the litter. Let me take these off real quick before I read this next super chat. Miss Sanchez says, I came to see if I saw glasses on. Hey, what's up, Miss Sanchez? What's up, Miss Sanchez? What's up, baby girl? What up, Miss Sanchez in the building? I appreciate you, baby. All right, y'all. One more thing. Let me just double check something. Are y'all not a part of the Patreon yet? Okay, we good. We good. And shout out to everybody that look out. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I love doing this show. I'm excited to do this show every single day that I talk to you guys, okay? All right. One more thing that we got to talk about before we get up out of here is we got to talk about the Bucks. Nope, not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nope. We're not also talking about the Milwaukee Bucks. We have to talk about Starbucks, all right? Now, a while ago, I did a vlog, or not even a vlog. I did a video, right, where I told y'all that this guy who was a previous CEO of Chipotle, and he authored a turnaround over at Chipotle. And now Starbucks recruited him because same-store sales were down. Many of their stores were unprofitable. They had become liberal hangouts where everybody that didn't have money, but they wanted to pretend like they were doing work. And so they would go up to Starbucks and they wouldn't buy any coffee. And then they would have whole meetings in there. And they would have their friends in there. And it was in Starbucks having a good old time. And he said, no more. He said, we're going to cut the dead weight. And so they're closing over 500 stores between the United States and Canada, over 400 inside of the United States of America, and tons of store in the Bay Area. Let's check it out.
It's so easy getting your Starbucks fix tomorrow. The coffee chain is closing hundreds of its stores nationwide, many of them right here in the Southland. Struggling with coffee competition and inflation, Starbucks now is running out of steam, you might say, and laying off hundreds of workers.
KTLA 5's Chris Wolf joins us live from Hollywood with the story. Chris.
Yeah, what a sad story this is, you guys. Cher and Rick, I have to admit, I'm a total Starbucks junkie. I often visit locations near our TV station right here in Hollywood along Sunset Boulevard. But now just about all of them will be closing in a matter of hours, days, including this one right behind me. Actually, hundreds will be closing across North America.
Onaka, you says 500 is a lot. I don't think so. I don't think that 500 is a lot. I know that the majority of them that is closing, the biggest concentration of ones that are closing are out in California, the Los Angeles area, the Bay Area. I know the Bay Area is losing at least 40 Starbucks. I don't think that 500 is a lot. And let me tell you why. The reason why 500 is not a lot is because, bro, for most franchises, let's say a McDonald's, right? A McDonald's, you can only go within a certain radius of another McDonald's. A Starbucks, you can get one in here, and then you can go one block down, and then you can go to this place that also sells Starbucks, and then you can go inside of the casino and they sell Starbucks. You're going to have 10 Starbucks within a 1 to 2 mile radius. It's too many of them, number one. And then one of the reasons why they're closing is because the minimum wage is going up so much over in California. And so it's people that was literally living off of Starbucks, working at Starbucks, and living off that in order to really be able to maintain a lifestyle. It's too many of them, bro. It's too many. And then so many different places sell Starbucks coffee. They're not even a Starbucks store. It's too many. And he's doing exactly what I would have done, is to get rid of the dead weight, eliminate the stores that are not generating revenue and profit, and reorganize the company and get rid of some of these people.
People have routines, comfort zones, and that's a good thing. For many of us, visiting Starbucks is a habit. And with locations just about everywhere you look, feeding that habit is typically an easy task. Not anymore.
Thank you,
the legendary Seattle-based coffee company announced Thursday it's closing about 400 stores in North America before the end of September.
How many Starbucks? How many Starbucks is in North America? Worldwide, they got over 35,000 stores in 80 countries. almost 16,000, which is located in the United States of America. Over 8,900 stores are company operated, while the remainder are licensed. So more than half of these stores is company operated. They're not even franchised. Companies would like to turn company-owned stores. Let's say, for example, again, I'm going to use McDonald's, right? Because I know a lot about McDonald's. I've studied McDonald's. I know their business model. I know how they keep their stuff so consistent, how they work with their franchisees, what their profit is, all of that stuff, right? Let's say at McDonald's, right? You don't see a whole lot of company-owned stores in McDonald's because they are looking to offload those into franchisees. If 9,000 of your 15 to 16,000 stores are company-owned, that's a problem. They have a fundamental problem with their business model. So I was reviewing and I seen a bunch of different videos of different women. Oh my God, I can't believe I love my Starbucks. This corporate America don't care about you. No, you just don't understand business, and so you taking it personal after you worked there for a long time and you didn't take advantage of their tuition assistance or their benefits. You didn't bother to go and get another skill set. You didn't get a different job. You didn't look at it as a opportunity for you to get a better opportunity, and you leapfrog while you pay your bills for now. You used it as a career choice and you felt like they had to pay you a livable wage. Well, guess what? The business model is failing because they have too many company-owned stores, too much overhead, too many unprofitable locations, and too many people complaining.
With online information sharing, an estimated 69 locations in Southern California alone will be shutting down their brewing and frothing machines permanently. It's all part of a restructuring plan amid growing competition.
Y'all was trying to unionize. Yeah, remember y'all was trying to unionize and y'all was walking out the stores? Now you jobless.
Inflation, and changing consumer tastes and communities. Bill Wyatt's been coming to this Starbucks in Los Feliz for nearly a quarter century.
We've grown old here, and now it's sort of like our senior citizen hangout. It's absurd.
See? They not even making no money. Y'all come in there like y'all going to Denny's. 65 plus. You come in there and you do your little stupid meetings. You don't buy nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then they supposed to just stay open because you like it. Because it's convenient for you. Some of y'all be bringing your own drinks. You bring your own food, computer. You use up all of the good Wi-Fi and then you don't buy nothing. Got to change the business model. They are in business to make money. They are not in business to make you happy.
The timing of not having any notice, it's devastating.
Yes, Costa, I go live every Monday through Friday on the Millionaire Morning Show. Same time every day between 11:30 and 12 p.m. Eastern.
Of our routines.
Bill Wyatt went so far as to launch a Save Our Starbucks campaign online, although it's too little, too late.
Most importantly, it's the employees that are, I think, hurt.
I just read in the New York Times that they're restructuring and supposedly doing better, supposed to be more welcoming.
They do, Nicolette. They be bringing their own
community,
drinks.
and now they're just ripping out like a place where people go.
I was devastated because it wasn't for the coffee, it was for all the good memories and all the people we met inside.
Are you upset that this Starbucks is closing?
Yeah, actually, I am.
Stores that have been landmarks in Hollywood for decades are now posting farewell notices. Employees did not want to talk on camera, but tell KTLA they received no forewarning of the bombshell announcement Thursday.
Starbucks actually announced months ago that they was going to be paring down stores, and at that point, y'all should have already been like, you know what, I need to move. It's time to change. It's time to make some adjustments. Now, you know when a company is about to start shutting stuff down.
Their stores would be closing over the weekend, and their futures with the cultural staple would be uncertain. Some will be transferred to other locations. Others will be let go.
Stores closing this weekend actually make up just a small percentage of all of Starbucks stores. The chain has more than 32,000 locations worldwide.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I'll do you one better, though. Let me tell you why I'm not mad at Starbucks. No, I am not an investor. Full disclosure, no, I am not an investor in Starbucks. And I don't drink their coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker at all. So I like tea and occasionally a hot chocolate. So I don't really care about Starbucks either way, but I do care about the fabric of America. And the one thing that I've always said as I was coming up is I never understood why y'all wasn't more competitive against large corporate entities and big box stores. I can't, you know why I hate Orlando? Orlando, not only have the YNs taken over downtown Orlando, and then Orlando has become ghetto and hood, but Orlando is probably one of the fakest places that I've seen on earth. And if you go to any place in Orlando, any place outside of Disney World and Universal Studios, they are the prototypical place that you usually see as the blueprint for what we see in a lot of these suburban neighborhoods. They usually have a Five Guys, a Starbucks, a Chipotle, a Dunkin' Donuts, and then they have all of the big box restaurants. You know what I'm saying? They have Chick-fil-A now and all of this, right? So it's the same thing over and over again. Same corporate owners, stores, in every plaza. It's the same old, same old. And that's cool for the suburbs. But when you start talking about a cultural fit, I would like to see more individual business owners open up coffee shops in place of it. If y'all really care about y'all neighborhoods and y'all communities, it's not about forcing a corporate entity that can do whatever it is, a publicly traded company that can do whatever it is that they want with their own dollar. It's about actually putting together the resources and the finances to go and do it yourself. Listen, you don't have to fret or worry or be concerned about something closing if you have a better business model. And honestly, I think we need to get back to individual ownership and mom and pop spots of places that were the fabric of the community before y'all started embracing the Walmarts, the Starbucks, and the Amazon in every single place that y'all went to. I like the local coffee shops that I go to. I like the local sandwich stores that I go to. And don't get me wrong, I like a good chain here and there. It's some really good chains that I really love. J. Alexander's is an incredible chain. But I also like individually family-owned people that are a part of the community that live, work, and play in the same places. And so maybe we are resetting for a good reason, right? Maybe this is good for the community. Maybe we need more people, individual business owners to come in and stand in place of places that didn't really have any real roots inside of the community except for the cipher money out to go back up to big corporate. If y'all care so much about your community, then open one up. If you care so much about your community, then do it. Become a fabric and the person that actually builds inside of your community. I do it. My studio is right here in Detroit, the place where I grew up in, born and raised. My studio right here. I got businesses all over here. I pour money into my community. I spend money in my community. And I love the fact that the city is gathered, right? All of the teams came back into the city, right in the concentrated downtown area. Lots of investment. And so if you really want change, then be the change that you want to see and stop waiting on somebody to come and save you or to give you a job. Create the job for yourself. That's what a small business is. A small business for most people is creating a job and a source of income for yourself. And if that's not what you want to do, then stop complaining about it. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's a bad thing. And 500 is a small amount in Canada and the United States of America compared to all of the stores that they have here. It was too many Starbucks anyway. All right. All right. Good show today. Good show today. Just a brown girl in America. What up, baby girl? What's happening? Space is in the building, says you're 150% right about networking. A couple people came to me about being a regular on their panels just off of the strength of knowing me from the chats. See? George, what up, George? Says Ubuntu, real name is Mike Jones. Hey, I was watching your show today, Elevate to the Unknown. I was watching you. Anton, just want to give you your credit. Going live Monday to Friday because of you has changed me in the best way before starting my W-2. I already feel like I've won. This content journey is truly addicting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very much excited about it. And shout out to Elevate to the Unknown with a phenomenal channel and great information and great insight. Again, we got the Q show tonight. So that's going to be popping at 10 p.m. Eastern on the After Hours channel. Y'all are already familiar with it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're not a bag chaser, make sure you tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We go live every single Monday through Friday here on the Millionaire Morning Show. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to hold us down. I'm going to see y'all tonight. Peace.